What's up, everybody? I think I have some more energy here to do a day trade watch list for you guys. Been going all day here for you guys with live streaming this morning. Just did a whole video on our swing trade watch list. So I think I have a little more energy left to go and do the day trade one. So we'll see. Give me a second, guys, to get this going, and it's going to send it out to you guys. Hello. I can't talk. Hey, peeps. We are doing the day trade watch list live right now. Come and join us. There we go. Here we go. All right. So we'll see if I still have some energy. So for those of you guys coming back on here right now, if you haven't been to our YouTube yet, make sure you click, excuse me, there's a notification bell over here. Make sure you click it so that'll let you guys know when we do go live. So I kind of post when we do go live, but make sure you, again, click the notification bell. And that way, when we do go live, you'll know. So today we did a bunch of streams. We did a live one this morning, and I just did the watch list live. It's buffering or uploading now. So my head is pounding now. I felt like I had energy to do this one. Now I don't know if I do. So we'll see. So we got this descending triangle here on the daily. This is the futures. Price is caught in between. It's rejecting off the 50 SMA and angular resistance. So caught back up in indecision mode. I did the swing trade watch list. I was putting stuff on there. This is not the final watch list. This is what I was looking at. And there's not much. I don't really like any of these, right? Or some of these. Let me see at the market close if there's anything I'm looking at. It's just very sloppy. I'm not really liking much of any of this. I might redo it. I might not put anything on the watch list for swing trade tomorrow because there really wasn't a lot. This one still has some potential. Looking to have it break above all-time highs and continue, but it is, you know, it's starting to get a little bit towards overextended, so I'm not sure how I feel about it. AAOI, I guess, has earnings tomorrow, and towards the end of the day it started selling off, so I'm not really liking that one right now either. And let's see, PSTG, that one is still got that inverse head and shoulders, is a little bit overextended. Let's see, does that have earnings? 521, so it still has some time until earnings. This is one I like because it's got that inverse head and shoulders pattern. Might be breaking out on the daily. Let's see, lots of open interest, tight bid ask spread, which I like. So these are things that I like on it, right? You want to find the best setups. So I like PSTG for a potential inverse head and shoulders daily breakout. Got to watch and see. Team, iffy about. Still kind of trading sideways. I might look at some other ones for potential plays. Got to wait and see. So what's going on, Rick? So let's take a look for tomorrow for the regular daily watch list. So I changed it to daily from day trade because there are many people that like to swing trade the ones that are on our daily watch list, which is totally fine to do. Many people swing trade small cap stocks. You just have to be super careful, right? Because many of these small cap stocks are pump and dumps. If you get the right entry, then you can stomach, you know, pullbacks along the way. But again, many of these ones, these small cap ones, are pump and dump. But we've added stocks that are between $10 and $20 on there, so it's a little bit more of ones that you could potentially swing trade. But that $1 to like $5 marker, got to be careful, right? Got to be careful. Got to get good entries. Got to know what you're doing. That's why I take our courses, right? If you haven't been over to our website, take our courses up over here. We have a few thousand worth of free courses. We just added our advanced candlestick or our candlestick reversals course over here, so make sure you take it. We have now a couple candlestick courses, all that good stuff, right? Where am I going here? Here we go. All right, so back over here, let's do the day trade watch list, or the daily. I'm going to change it to daily. Again, if you can swing trade some of them, that's up to you. So let's see some of the ones that I was looking at today, see if I'm going to keep them on the watch list. Nope. Nope. BLNK, that was one that people were really hitting in the trade room today. So let me take this off right here. So this one really made a big move up today. You can see, pull back right at the 200 SMA, but it's in the gap right now. So this might have a continuation day. It's a big gap, right? Volatility is good. That's what you're looking for, volatility when day trading. This one has a history of pumping and then dumping, pumping and then dumping. So again, pattern sloppy like this right now, but I'm going to keep an eye on it where it's might want to make a break above that 200 SMA, might want to go up and fill that gap. Got to watch and see. So I'll get into putting the alerts on there in a little bit. Just going to see if I'm going to keep any of these over here. Nope. 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 So just to show you guys this, because I like to do my best to try to teach you guys stuff, you have kind of a shooting star pattern right here. So you have an inverse head and shoulders, right? So left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Got kind of a neckline up here. You had a neckline right down in this area here. And now it's price got caught up in between that 200 SMA resistance, right? So as it's trying to go and broach up, not saying it's not going to continue further, now it's kind of in decision mode, right? That shooting star, that's a potentially bearish sign. Got to see if it's going to hold this area. That 210 went up, rejected, like I was showing on the watch list, right? Look at that. Went up to 232. For anybody that was in the trade room today, we were watching it at 210, right up to about 230 range, and it pulled back right at 232. No coincidence. Right up here, look at that, fell back down right below the 200 SMA. I'll take a look at Geo Ph for you. So, not going to put EPE on the watch list. FSNN. No. Pull back right here, right below the yearly high, right up here. Now you kind of got a double top pattern, right? Failed to break above previous high, so now it's a double top. Unless it can get back up and break above. As of right now, that's bearish. Club. So this is what I was saying with this one. The only thing I don't like about it is a 5-cent spread stock. But as I was saying, on in the watch list, right? It triggered at or where is this one? At or below $11. You can see it spiked up to $11.39 today. But now as it came back down and failed $11 and went green to red, now it's a potential short, right? This is a bearish sign right here. But it's a 5-cent spread stock, so you got to determine whether you want to trade. I just don't like those stocks. Over $10, not so bad, though. Anything under $10, 5-cent spreads, I don't like them. But potentially still a short. So this short is still intact right now. This has room to fall, all right? I'm not going to put it on, though. And ACHV, let's take a look at that one. Let's see here. Don't like it. So, no. Take that one off. Okay, so let's take a look at Geo Ph, and then I'll see if there's what's going to go on for tomorrow's watch list. Nightly scan. All right. Geo Ph, I'll take a look at that for you, Rick. All right, so don't really like the pattern. Real sloppy up in here. Got a doji candlestick. It's falling right below that 336 marker. Not saying it can't go up. Just not really. I mean, it's, you know, that's the thing with these patterns. They could go and pump and break out, or they can fall. It's got a doji. Let's take a look at the hourly. It's possible. I mean, it's want to see it get above that 336 marker. It's below that 200 SMA now, so you want to get price above here, and then you want to see it get above that 336 marker for potential continuation. So, don't love the pattern, but you know, it is above the moving average lines, but that doji kind of has almost a head and shoulders. Head, left shoulder, right shoulder. So you got to be careful. It's caught right in between there. All right, so let's take a look and see what we're going to add on for tomorrow. We're looking for stocks that are holding their highs on the day or holding their lows for continuation up or continuation down. Nope. Nope. And it could be difficult because, as you guys, like I was showing you guys, when price ends up in the middle of these moving average lines, right at angular resistance, right at the 50 SMA, with that kind of spinning top kind of candle, that's going to create some indecision. So it may, Rick. Doesn't look great. Especially with the market and what it's doing right now. So you got to look at all this stuff, guys, right? So when we can only build a watch list and, you know, look at stocks to trade if the plays are there. If they're not, they're not. Sometimes we send out a watch list. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes you got to wait and sit on the sidelines, and that's okay. That's trading, right? You don't trade just to trade. You want to find ideally the best setups. Right now, it might be tricky with price indecision right in those moving average lines. All right, so let's see here. Not liking these. Yuck. Ugly. Nope. Nope. So far, not much. But it makes sense. Market's in indecision mode. Pumped and dumped, right? Exactly, Rick. Can't force trades. It's either there or it's not. That's why we tell people not to trade, because even if there's a couple bad days of trading, even on a week, right? If the market's looking really crappy during the week, you're going to have probably at least one good day that you're going to trade, right? If the market's selling off, the buyers might come in at least one day and push things back up, you know? So just, you know, you got to be patient, right? Thanks a lot, Ben. Appreciate it. I know, lots of live streams today. So good question. Do you use, Sam, do you use float in your scans? Yes, we do. It's all on our trade idea scans, but we set it up over here in Thinkorswim. They don't have float, but they have shares, which is like shares outstanding. Usually this is higher than float. So, you know, usually the float is a little bit lower than over here. So basically this is like a higher number. So on Thinkorswim, it's a very good gauge, right? So if you see 37 million, it might be, you know, got to look up the float. It's probably going to be less than 37 million. So that's why I like having it on here. Exactly, Rick. Definitely. Definitely don't want to be a bag holder, especially on these pump and dumps, right? All right, so we'll keep going. So far, nothing's looking great. So when you're looking at something like this, you want to see price get above that 9 moving average line. Might have some room to run. So it's kind of borderline, right? Might be a double bottom pattern right here. Might be trying to get above right here. So sometimes you got to kind of zoom in, right? These small cap stocks, the pricing, you're welcome, Sam. The pricing's a little bit, it's not as great, or the patterns, not as great as a lot of the higher caps. So you got to kind of zoom in. You can see kind of a double bottom pattern right here. So I would have probably ignored it normally, but then I saw a pattern. Now I'm looking right here. I discounted it at first, but now as I see it, it might be one to look at. It's above the moving average lines. You can see kind of a base right here, base over here, might be trying to move up. You can see kind of a gap right up. So this got some potential room to run, where I would have totally ignored it because it looked like a piece of garbage. But now I might actually put that one on the watch list. So you can see that 320 marker, this 320 on up. You can see the gap. You know, you got to, if price moves up, watch out that 320 marker, then 384, and then this gap. So this one might create some volatility at some point. So ACET, one to possibly watch. Nope. Hold on, I got so many drawings on my charts. So this is what we like to see. We like to see when they're holding their highs on the day. But then you got to be careful of this, right? You got this candlestick right in the way over here, that 332, this kind of a shooting star, right? Close to a gravestone doji. So this one, and then you got this, so like, yeah, right there, that 332. So it might be forming a cup pattern, right? So it has some room up to that 332 range. So don't love the pattern. So it's an It's an to me. I want to see it get above that area, that 332 area. But again, it can pump and then a dump, right? These are pump and dump stocks. So I'm going to put it on. We might take a look towards the end, depending on the stock, the watch list, see how many are on there. Nope. Nope. Garbage. BLNK, that was a great play today. We'll go back over that in a moment. ENPH. Now that's holding its highs. I like to see this. Let's kind of clear these drawings. So, kind of got like a triangular pattern here. Let me go to the hourly. So, right here. Dan teaches all about these trend lines, right? Finding these triangles, finding angular support and resistance. Now you kind of have a triangle right here, right? So, now you can see angular resistance right over here, right around $5. Price is above, right in the middle, right above those moving average lines. Price is trading in these channels here, or in this middle of this channel. So it's got some room, right? It's got a little bit of room. Got to be careful around $5, but it's one to keep an eye on, right? It's trading in this triangle, as you can see, right smack in the middle. Now, but the moving average lines are trading sideways. You want to see price, moving average lines push it up to break out of that angular resistance. But watch it, right? These symmetrical triangles are tricky, but find them. Find the patterns. It's one to watch, and then you can see right below $5 would be some resistance. One to watch, ENPH. Remember, when you're day trading these stocks, you're looking to make, 10, 15, 20 cents. Use your account, your money as leverage, right? Don't chase the home runs. We all want the home runs. We all want the 50 and 100 or 50 cent and dollar gains, but it's not realistic on every trade unless you have cojones of steel to hold on to stuff long enough, because these stocks are pump and dumps, right? Take your gains. And you can always find reentries. There's always another stock to trade. If it doesn't happen tomorrow, then it's probably going to be the next day or the day after. There's always big runners all the time. Nope. Do I like it? Yeah. It's kind of still in that gap. Gap creates volatility. Let's see here. It's still moving up inside of it, so it's an eh. Let's see. Want that 537 marker. Don't love it. Nope. No. Well, hold on. It's just, yeah, it's just sloppy to me. Kush bottles, pot stock. So, these pot stocks, so tricky to find these things, huh? Got to get the right entries, right? Got to got this triangular formation, kind of almost a symmetrical triangle pattern here. So, normally I look at this and I'm like, it's kind of garbage looking. But then you can't totally discount it because the pot stock sectors may be getting pumped up again. Got to see. Let me pull up CAN, which is the ultimate pump and dump. Kind of another one, right? It's got these triangle formations. You got to just, wow, look at it's so sloppy. So if you get the right entry, you could hold. But this is what I'm trying to, okay, perfect example. This is perfectly what I want to show you guys. Where you got to be careful with swing trading small cap stocks, right? You have to get the right entry to be able to stomach it. So the problem with a lot of these, especially with the pot stock sector, is they're pump and dumps, right? Don't tell me the Canadian ones are not pump and dumps either, because they are, because they have not proven themselves otherwise. In the long term, some of them might be good. I'm talking the small cap ones. I'm not talking the larger cap companies, right? BF, I'll take a look. So my point being is you can say, well, okay, this is right here. Why don't I buy now, right? So what if I buy right now because price is low. It's lower than $6. It's lower than $11. So let me buy it now. Well, hold on a second. It's trading sideways. This could easily pump up, but it can easily fall back down, right? This could easily go from $4, smack right back down to $2, easily, right? It could also easily go from $4 back up to 10, right? So it's kind of tougher if you want to swing trade like this. If you don't get the right entry, this could just crash on you easily, and it could easily pump up. So you got to find your proper entries. If you got in down here and these support levels, you might get, then you could, stomach a pullback. But if it goes from $2 up to $6, don't just hold on to this thinking it's going to go back up to $11 or more again. There's no proof that it's going to do that. It may, but it may not, right? Because if you go back on the monthly charts, look at this. Got pumped up to $64, and look what it's done ever since. Pump and dump, right? All these pot stocks, these small caps, they're all the same. But you can make a ton of money. You got to get the right entry. But my whole point being on swing trading, these are like, again, many of these small cap stocks do the same exact thing. They pump and then they dump, right? So EMMBF, let's see, EMMBF, I'm sure it's probably going to be very similar to the other ones. Yeah, again, they have these triangular formations, right? See right here. This is, I believe this is a Canadian one, right? So look at it. Pumps and dumps. So when people are saying, can I swing trade these? Well, sure, but it's also very messy, right? Extremely messy. If you get in down in these areas, so perfect example, you got in down here at $1.15. If you didn't take your profit up at $2.22, look what happens. Came all the way back down and now went farther below, right? But the thing is people on, there's all these pot pumping chat rooms that are popping pot stocks. Like, again, Canada is becoming legal, and so you kind of see, like, again, everybody's pumping it up, like all these pot stocks are going to be great, but look, they're all dumping, right? I can pull up some other Canadian ones. TWM, JF, Big Dog one, Snoop Dogg that he was affiliated in it, you know. Look at, you know, still messy, right? Not saying it won't go up, but this is supposed to be one of the top Canadian pot stocks. And again, it's super messy. So if you're going to swing trade this, very difficult, you know. You got a lot of people trapped up in this $35 range, and now the price drops back down to, you know, $19, $20. So now you have this kind of this symmetrical triangle shape. Let me kind of draw. Sometimes it's hard to even draw these triangles on this, right? Kind of got this kind of down here. Might be trying to get out of the triangle. You can extend it. So you can extend it down here, then you can kind of bring it back over here. So even if you bring it over here, you still have this, like, still difficult. Very, very difficult to trade these triangles, right? It's kind of, let me go on to the daily. So you can think, oh, that's symmetrical, but look, it's still downwards. It's not like, but it can still pump up, right? So that's a thing. Like, look at this. So it's kind of like this downward symmetrical triangle, but you can still get a day. Look at this one day. $25 up to $32 and smack back down, and look, right here. You got caught up in here, right in this $30 range, and then it dropped right back down to $20. So this is supposed to be like one of the top Canadian stocks, and look what happens. So, yeah, a lot of people are holding on them, waiting for them to pump, and hopefully they do. But my whole point being is if you get in and you get this pump, be aware of previous resistance levels. So you got to think about this for a moment, right? So these big chat rooms and these people that have all the money, are they holding super long term because they believe it's going to go to the moon long term? Or are they trying to sucker you in, pump it up to get bigger profits, and then they dump, right? Pump and dumps. These pot stocks have been doing it around forever. So if you're a newbie, be aware of these previous bigger resistance levels that they're going to dump until price gets back above them up here, above 35.88, and price goes higher, right? If this is a great stock long term, then price should be then getting over this 35.88 level right up here, right? Right over here. Price needs to get back over that and continue upwards. It's not supposed to be doing this. This is pumping and dumping, right? Be very, very careful of this stuff, guys. So this is what I like to try to tell you guys to be very aware of. And so here you go. So it is still going up longer term, which is good. So again, it is still going up, but be very careful when you're saying swing trading, right? Look at this high wave candle here, craziness right over here as well. So again, still going up longer term, not trying to throw hate on it. I'm just trying to show you guys with swing trading, some of these, got to be careful and get the right entry. Man, those pot stocks, they get me on a tangent. I try to protect you guys. We all try to do our best we can. So all in all, I just went on a tangent. Hopefully it helped you guys. Back to the watch list. Bit overextended. So for those of you guys that want to know how to short and stuff like that, right? There's no shares on Thinkorswim to short of this, but what you would look for like this, very important. Price is overextended on the daily, right? More than 3 green days. You have 4 green days, kind of broke out here, super overextended. At some point, it's going to want to pull back. You can see some support right over here around the $7, these previous peaks. Then you can kind of bring it down over here, right? So now, price is a bit overextended. If it fails to break this high, then you can potentially take a short using these levels as support levels. So when you're going long, you buy low and sell high. Buy low, sell high. When you go short, you want to sell high, buy low. So if price goes and it rejects in these levels, you might, again, this is rejecting right at $7.50, no coincidence, $half amount, whole and $half amounts. You could, take a potential short down using these levels as support. You could sell high, buy low. I'm not saying to short this. You have to watch and see what happens tomorrow. But it would be a potential short. Gotta love my rant, huh? Sorry, I'm looking at some of your comments right now. Yeah, so again, not throwing hate on anything, guys, with these pot stocks. Again, many of them are good, or when we phrase that, you can make good money on them, but you have to do really good research on which ones are going to be good potentially long term. These small cap ones you got to be careful of, right? All right, so this is one I like to look at and like to see. This was on our watch list. Holding its highs, right? I like to see that. I like to see it holding its highs on the day, getting close to resistance. So that $7 or that $8 marker. So I like it a little bit too closer to resistance, but if you see, it was on our watch list. ARWR, where the heck did it go? Maybe it was on yesterday's. Huh? Oh, maybe I was watching it earlier. I don't know. Looked familiar to me. I obviously had it charted out, so maybe it wasn't on today's. Oh well. Don't like it. So this one kind of holding its highs, a little bit overextended. Let's take a look at the hourly. Oh, bit overextended. Let's take a look here. Some resistance there. Some support down here. Some resistance up there. So you kind of got this between $9 to $10 range. Let me look at the daily. This can go either way, but it is overextended, so I wouldn't necessarily be comfortable on a long on this. It could go up, but this is one you'd watch. If it goes or rejects around 10 or rejects around this 950, it could be a potential short down. Am I going to put that on the watch list? I don't know. I don't think so. Let's see here. Don't like the pattern. So this one's interesting. So it doesn't look like much, and then I zoom in and I'm like, huh, that looks like an inverse head and shoulders, right? Kind of a left shoulder, a head, kind of a right shoulder with a neckline right around that $11 range. It's not doing it. It's going slowly grinding, right? So right at that resistance level, 1046, that 50 SMA. Look at the hourly. So it's slowly grinding. So this is one of those very slow grinders to look at, that it might not happen today or tomorrow. It might take a while, or it might just go and explode. So it's one to keep an eye on, but you got to see it get above those levels. Have a great day, Rick. Let's see here. All right. Like to see this. So this one right here holding its highs, a bit overextended though. So I like to see it holding its highs, a bit overextended, but look, no coincidence, look at this gap. Bada bing right there to 1120, right? So you have this 1090 to 1120. So it's overextended. Watch what happens if it fills that gap. It's got about a 30-cent move, a little bit. You know, I wish there was more room for you guys. So would I risk, if you bought 1,000 shares, would I risk $11,000, you know, put 11,000 in to make maybe 30 cents? It's a little bit risky for me, you know? So that's where, if there was more, 50 cents or more, I might take a look at it. It's a little bit overextended, can move up, but, you know, this could easily get back 50% of its gains, right? So do I want to risk almost 40 or 50 cents to make potentially 30? A little bit tough risk management there. That might be another one right here, a gap on the daily right here to to $11. Right, zoom across. Look at that, fill the gap. This one might be a short. So now that the gap filled, pulled back, this one might be one for a potential short. So this has some room to pull back for a potential short. So you can see price went up, filled that gap. Now it started to pull back. But you can see also inverse head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, major neckline. So now you got to say, well, this is super overextended. Is it going to pull back, or is it going to go and blow through and go up? You can see previous high, all-time high is 1163. Not too far from this. So, but this one, if this does move up again, might be a nice short on the way down. You see this? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, broke out of this neckline right over in here. Went up. You can see several different necklines moving all the way up. Might go up there. So this is tough, right? Do you take this long or do you take it short? Very difficult to trade this one. So at this one, I was going to say, normally I'd say, oh, maybe short, but it still can move up to this neckline up here. So that's a technical analysis lesson. I wouldn't know it. I don't know what I would put this on for tomorrow. I'd put it on maybe more short, but it can easily go and break and go above. Got to watch and see, but I don't think I'm going to put it on for right now. All that to say that. AKAO. No. So, prices near all-time highs of that 1323. Pulling back a little bit. Got some support in these areas down here. Overextended a bit, right at that all-yearly high. Again, you can still look at this as like a... Now the left shoulder is higher than the right shoulder, but you can kind of put it over here, and then you could call this a right shoulder, right? So sometimes you got to look in between. You can call this the right shoulder, but it's lower than the left. Or you could say this is the left shoulder and bring the right shoulder up a little bit and have it be more even, right? Kind of over here, and you can see this left shoulder is higher than this, or the right shoulder over here is higher than the left. So this could break out or it could break down. That 1325 key resistance level, gotta watch. Even though it's broaching overextended, it could pop and go up. But it's trading kind of sideways. Who knows what it's going to do? Don't want to put it on. Nope. You can see after market it pumped up and came right back down. Must have some news. Looks like there was some news. So this one might put on for AMC. Looks like there is a gap on the daily right here, that 1773 up to $20. So if you zoom ahead in the future, right here, right over to here, look at this line over here. Price went up, popped up all the way back down. I put this level right over here, put a line over here, 1870s. So this is one to watch. Looks like there was some news. Must be some financials. So this is going to move up or down. Got to keep an eye on it. AMC. Nope. No, and then bit overextended for me. Let's take a look if there's any bearish ones. Not many. Let's take a look if anything looks good. This one's falling below the channel here, or touching lower resistance in the channel. Those on the hourly. Right here, it's a bit oversold. Watch, watch if the buyers come back in. but it's still not much room to run up right now for before resistance. So, Agent, nah, bit oversold. Nope. Nope. No. Nope. Possibly. Let's get rid of this. So, this one, SWPH, is failing the moving average lines. You can see some support right around that $4 range. 450 is going to be, you can see, where's 450? 450 right here. It's kind of got almost that inverse head and shoulder. You can see almost a big long left shoulder ahead and a right shoulder, but now it's starting to fail. That 450 is key. If 450 falls and breaks, it could easily fall down to $4. Then you have these range down over here. Let's take a look at the daily. So it's just a little bit too close to that 450 for me. It could easily bounce right back up like it did over here. So I like how it's falling for a potential short below the moving average lines, but it's a little bit closer to that 450. It might get a bounce. So not going to put it on. AMC had an earnings beat. Cool. So yeah, that's why I put it on. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Maybe. Let's take a look at this one on the hourly. Right here. So it's kind of got like a rising wedge. It's kind of falling out of it a little bit, but it's close to that 200. Oversold. Buyers might come back in. Let's take a look. It's close, right? Close. Might still continue falling. Might be falling out of that wedge. Yeah, this is a rising wedge. So now you got a rising wedge pattern. Might be close to falling out. Easy to borrow, so you can get shares with Thinkorswim. This is one to keep an eye on. Let's look at some support right over here. 460s. You know, so might be falling out of this rising wedge. Again, one to keep an eye on. NG. This one might be about to fall out of that. Look at this big descending triangle right at its base right now. That 780 marker. Man, look at that. Big descending triangle. Where the heck is it on the daily? Right there. This might be ready to crack. Look at that. See that? Right at the base of a major descending triangle. Not good. If that 780 falls, that ain't good. So that might be a short. I didn't mean 1,000. I meant 1,000 shares, Chris. If I said $1,000, I meant 1,000 shares. I like to use round numbers of 1,000 shares. Bearish engulfing. Is this a 5-cent spread stock? That's a 5-cent spread stock, so that made it easy for me. I'm not going to put it on. Kind of a dark cloud cover. So this one right here, failing the moving average lines, has some room to fall. Let me just remove these lines here. You can see some support right around the 789, but then it could fall further if it... right around that right around that 50 SMA if that continues to fall. So this one right here, you have kind of a dark cloud cover happening, failing right below the 50 SMA. It's got some room to fall. You can see this gap up on the daily has some room to fall down. It has shares to short on Thinkorswim, so it's one to watch, right? Potential short. Yeesh. Dang. That's a high wave candle, and it's also a bullish harami. Ugh. Crazy. Nope. All right, so that's the watch list. So now I'm just going to take a few minutes and I'll show you guys alert levels and what I'm looking at and go from there. So right here, let me just get a drink of water here for a second, guys. Chris, I'm not sure what you mean by that. So BLNK, one we were watching today, went up into the gap. It's still in this gap right here on the daily, rejected off the 200 SMA. Want to see it get it back above 470 range, right where it rejected. So let's do this. Price, let's see, price is in gap on the daily. Watch if it can get back above 200 SMA and continue up in the gap. So you want to see price get above that 200 SMA, get above this 470, and then see if it goes up and fills the gap, right? Chris, I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, buddy. AMC. All right. So AMC went up, pumped, and then dumping right down. So what the heck? 1768 went really way up, coming right back down. So at this point, I don't like how it's pumping up and dumping back down, but watch, you know, see what happens tomorrow. Might be there now. It's kind of might be buyers might be coming back in. So let's see above. I like this area right here. That looks a little bit better to me. I'll remove this line. What is this? 1796 area. So I'd say above $18. So, and that's, what is that range here? 1880 to 20. Let's do this. All right. So, had positive earnings. Watch for move for potential move towards gap on daily between around $20, 20-ish above. So you can see that gap on the daily right here, right between that 1874 right here. So watch if price can get back above here, move up, get above this aftermarket high, and go up to fill at some point. But again, remember, it doesn't mean it's just going to fill. You got to get, there's a lot of potential volatility in here. But we like volatility, right? If the pattern's good, you like volatility. You could do a scalp, right? You could day trade it or swing trade it or take it down. You know, if this rejects and falls, let me see. You know, there is still some room to fall. Got some support right over in this area here as well. And down in here. So just watch volatility, right? Let's see. ACET. So you kind of have this double bottom pattern. Watch for continuation. Want it to get above that 2. Let me zoom in here. It's easier. Right at that 330 marker. So let's do this. Double bottom on daily. Watch for continuation. Resistant with resistance at base of gap around 330. Right, watch for it to continue up. Watch for it right around that 330, the base of that gap, and then see if it goes up, right? Okay, go. Right at a big descending triangle right at the base. It is oversold, but it could fall. Watch for the base to crack. Let me see, and the monthly. I mean, it's at all-time lows. This 780 cracks, there's really... it's in no man's land at that point. So, if you can get shares to short, at all-time lows of descending triangle, if 780 cracks, it's in no man's land. No man's land. There you go. ENPH. Kind of in the middle of a symmetrical triangle. Got to watch right over here. See if I can get above. Oops. Above 459. These symmetrical triangles can be tricky. Price in middle of symmetrical triangle. Watch for resistance at angular. Watch for angular resistance. You're welcome, Dan. Resistance around $5. I've been calling it angular momentum just because that's how my brain works. I don't know why I call that. But angular resistance. Dan hand slapped me earlier and told me to say angular resistance, not momentum. It just, my brain just moves a million miles a minute. So, all right, NG. Might be falling out of that wedge. It could crack right around that's 463. Could fall. Let's see. At or below rising wedge. I always forget. So now I get confused, right? Rising wedge or falling wedge. So now like my brain is stumped, right? I'm like, what the heck am I talking about? So guess what I'll do? Watch this. Go over to our courses page. What the heck is it again? Oh. Okay, let me go to our candlestick course, right? What the heck is that pattern again? And then I'm going to see... Oh, it's a rising wedge. Duh, right? Rising wedge, but might be falling out of the rising wedge. So, there you go. Look at this. Here's a rising wedge. Go over to the daily. You can see a rising wedge might be falling out of that rising wedge. That's why I get confused, my brain. So it might be falling out of the rising wedge. So price may be falling out of rising wedge. Look if for 60s fail, watch for support around 50 SMA. And then if it fails, you know, potentially further, right? So it's falling out of the wedge now. See if the buyers come in. If it falls, look at these areas here. And so again, look, rising wedge, price is starting to fall out, potential short, got to watch and see, right? NG, there you go. This is why I'm telling you guys, patterns, take our candlesticks course so you can see these patterns, very important. DERM, kind of an inverse head and shoulders, left head, shoulder, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, getting close to the neckline, holding its highs at resistance right around that 50 SMA. So it could go either way. On the hourly, I don't know if I'm going to put this one on. It's just such a slow grinder. It could pop up or it could fall down. Got to watch, right? You got to see price get above here. It's a huge, these small little candlesticks. I don't know. It's just a little bit, I don't want to put it on. CNET. Got to get above that 330, that was that 332. Oh, let's take a look at the hourly. It's still kind of choppy, crazy, but you know, may have a little bit of room. 316 to 332, not a lot, 16 cents, but if it can get above 332, maybe it turns into a cup and handle. Gotta see. Watch for continuation with resistance at 332. See if it gets above and forms cup and handle-ish. Patterns, guys, patterns, right? So it's got to go up. If it gets up to 332 and gets above, then you might have a cup and a handle. Then it might continue, right? If it fails at 332, then you have a potential double top failure. NG, and what was the other one? Go. Yeah, okay. I want to make sure I'm putting these on. Sometimes I put something below when it's supposed to be above, or vice versa. And CVGI, kind of a dark cloud cover-ish pattern here, failing the 50 SMA. Support around that 790-ish range. Let me go to the zoom in. Failing the moving average line. So, you know, gotta see, you know, 8 down to 755. Let me see the daily. Let me just do this. At or below 817. So dark cloud cover on daily. Watch if 8 fails, then 750-ish support. All right. When drawing, do you have the rule of thumb for touches? I do use wicks. Dan will come out wicks. So some people use wicks. So somebody asked, how many touches or rules of thumb? I like to have at least 2 to 3. I include wicks. Some people don't, you know. So it's kind of like your preference. I do like including wicks. Some people don't. So not sure if that helps you. No, Melrod. Milrad and Chris, are you guys bickering or are you just having fun? Oh, I gotta love you guys. I love it. All right, so that's the watch list. Again, all of this good stuff here. Well, I'll get to that in a second. Join our trade room if you haven't already. If you're just watching us on YouTube, or join our community. We have a very large community on Facebook. Keep the spammers and trolls out. Guys, if you're one of the people that are posting political comments, stop, please. We don't want to keep doing this weekly public service announcement. Stop posting political comments. I don't care if you like Trump or hate Trump. Doesn't matter. Just don't post it. You guys can't talk nicely. We always got to clean up messes of people. You can't. People just get all upset. I know there's people that'll post a post that'll say either a good or a bad Trump post. Again, it doesn't matter if you like Trump. It doesn't matter if you hate Trump. We don't give a crap whether you like him or you don't like him. News affects markets. Whether it's real news or whether it's fake news, doesn't matter. Got to be aware of it. Doesn't matter if you like the news or you hate the news. We don't care. Nobody cares. It moves markets. My whole point being in all this is you got to be aware of it. Don't post stuff and don't trigger it. So if somebody posts an article that you like or dislike, it doesn't matter if you like or dislike it unless they're trying to be a jerk. But if it's news, if it's something about Trump is doing something with North Korea or he's not, or he's doing something with Iran or not, whether you like the news or you dislike it, it doesn't matter. If it's a news article, don't get all emotional. Just be aware of the news, and whether you like it or not, the news affects markets, right? That's my rant. So just, guys, if you see an article and somebody's just posting it, don't get all riled up either way. Who cares? Go, if you want to be political, go fight somewhere else. Go fight in a political group, right? Me, Tim, and Dan, just to let you guys know, we have different political beliefs. So we're actually business partners, and we don't all have the same political beliefs. And we managed to build a really great and big business that's continuously growing, and we're working, doing just fine, right? Jeez. That's my rant. I had to say that because I had to, post an article today. Just stop with the nonsense. Again, if you're new watching us, there's not a lot of that. You just get some people that get all riled up and post comments, and I got to, be a babysitter. I don't want to be a babysitter, right? We had somebody who's... I was going to use the cop reference, Dan. Don't make us be a cop, right? We don't want to be a cop. Tim is a cop, though, right? So Tim is a police officer. Don't make us sick 'em on you, right? Just go fight somewhere else if you like politics. All right, that's my rant. Here we go. Trade rooms, day trade room, swing trade room. Come and join us if you haven't already. Again, we're giving all of this stuff away, guys. Just so much, just nonstop. Our live screen shares we may make private at some point to our members. So who knows? As of right now, we're opening it up. But at some point, we might close it down to members only. Again, our courses, we just launched our advanced candlestick course today. Thousands of dollars worth of courses. This will keep you busy for months. Yeah. And last but not least, because I am burnt out, I'm probably not going to do 3 screen shares much. I'll probably do 1 or 2. But guys, $10 a month. Pricing's a joke. We're not trying to compete against everybody else. We have tons of respect for all the other trading companies out there. So no hate, no shade there. We're just different. We're not trying to compete with them. We're just different. We're building a different community. We're trying to build kind of big, lots of camaraderie, build a big community, grow it. That's it. Right? If things continuously grow like they're going now, then we'll keep it the same. If not, then we might change and add different pricing structures down the road. Right? And that's it. I'm ending my screen share today. I'm burnt out. Enjoy. I'm going to go have some manicotti and some sausage for my grandma, some extra bread. And then I'm going to watch some wrestling. You can hate me all you want, but yes, I still watch wrestling. Enjoy.